In this video, I'm going to talk about the town or city where you live now. Now, you might not get asked questions on this topic because you are living in your hometown. But the vocabulary I use in this video can also be used to talk about your hometown. And you might get asked a part 2 question where you have to describe a place. And again, the vocabulary in this video can be used for describing places. Where do you live now? I'm residing in the UK at the moment, in a city called Leeds. I've been living there for the past 9 months. It is located in the north of England. The present continuous is quite a simple tense. However, many IELTS candidates forget to use it. Here it is made more complex by using the verb to reside, which means to live. I've been living there. This is the present perfect continuous tense, and using this tense will really impress the IELTS examiner. It's a tense that's frequently used by native speakers of English, but you don't often hear it being used by non-native speakers or IELTS candidates. So if you use it in your IELTS exam, the IELTS examiner is going to be impressed. You could say, I've been living there all my life, or I've been living there since last year. It is located in. Instead of just saying it is in the north of England, it is located in makes your answer sound much more complex. How would you describe the town or city? Firstly, I would have to say that it looks like quite an industrial city. However, I don't know how much industry there is nowadays. Moreover, it is most definitely a thriving place. New apartments are being built and there are shopping centres popping up all over the city, both in the heart of the city and on the outskirts. It is quite a cosmopolitan area, and the fact that there is a university there makes it quite an ethnically diverse place to live. Remember that the IELTS examiner is giving you a grade for cohesion and coherence. Cohesion is organisational features that stick your answer together, that signpost to the listener what is going to come next. This is a good way to start your answer when you're going to do a list of things. However is another signpost word, another linking word. Moreover, it lets the listener know that you're going to add some more information and some quite important information. Most definitely. Although it's not really grammatically correct because we don't need the most, we use the most to add extra emphasis. Thriving. This is a place that's doing well economically. There are lots of new businesses. It's a flourishing place. Are being built. This is a very good example of complex grammar. It's the present continuous passive. And this will really impress the IELTS examiner. To pop up is a phrasal verb, and it means when something appears. The heart of the city. This is a good collocation and an idiomatic expression, and it means in the centre of the city. On the outskirts, this means around the edge of the city. Cosmopolitan, if you're describing a place as cosmopolitan, it means you have lots of different nationalities there. An ethnically diverse place, again, this means there are lots of people from lots of different countries living there. What do you like about your area of the town or city? I wouldn't say that it's the most stunningly beautiful place in the world. However, the amenities are second to none. There is everything that I need. For instance, there is a wide range of shops, a multitude of restaurants, from upmarket places where it costs an arm and a leg to eat, to reasonably priced places where you can get a cheap bite to eat. There is a football stadium there, although the team, Leeds United, isn't really worth watching at the moment. Instead of just saying it's not, this makes it sound more complex. I wouldn't say that. Stunningly beautiful. This means something is extremely beautiful and can be used to describe places, or you could use it to describe a church. So very useful collocation. Stunningly beautiful. The amenities, these are the facilities, the services in the town or city. Second to none, this is a great expression and it means that they're the best. For instance, to make your answer much more detailed and to allow yourself to use more language, remember to give examples. A multitude of. It's another way of saying a range of or lots of. Upmarket places. These are expensive, posh places. This is a very good example of an idiomatic phrase. It's not something you would use in writing, but it's something you could use in speaking. It costs an arm and a leg. And it means it's very expensive. It costs a lot. Reasonably priced. This means they're not too expensive. A cheap bite to eat. A bite to eat is like a snack, a small meal. Isn't really worth watching. To be worth plus an ing verb is commonly used wrongly by IELTS candidates, so make sure you use this phrase correctly. Is there anything you don't like about your area of the town or city? The thing I'm not keen on about living there is that the transport network isn't that great. There are buses and trains, but it doesn't have trams like other cities such as Manchester. Therefore, to get around it takes ages, and the trains and buses aren't always punctual. This is a major issue for me because I need to get to classes on time. Try not to use phrases like I like or I don't like. I'm keen on or I'm not keen on is another way of saying I like or I don't like. Another discourse marker being used here. This is good use of informal English, not something you would want to use in writing, but takes ages. It means it takes a long time. Punctual, on time. The IELTS examiner will be impressed if you use collocations. These are words that native speakers put together naturally in their language. A major issue. And this makes it sound more advanced than saying it's a big issue. A major issue. Do you expect to continue living in this town or city for a long time? That's a tricky question to answer right now because I'm not entirely sure if I'll be living in Leeds in the near future. I've applied to a number of different universities, one of which is Leeds. However, I could end up in Brighton, which is miles away from Leeds. This means that it's a difficult question to answer. IELTS candidates often start their answers with I think. Have other expressions that you could use to start your answer, such as, oh, that's a tricky question to answer. I'm not entirely sure. This is a better way of saying I don't really know. I will be living. This is the future continuous, and this will really impress the IELTS examiner. So think about what you will be doing in the future, because you might get asked questions about that. I will be working in London. I will be living in America. And you might get asked questions about the future, not just about your plans, but what might happen in the future, for example, to museums. And we say in the near future to mean something very soon. Have applied. This is the present perfect. And IELTS candidates, even good ones, often mix up the past simple and the present perfect. Remember, the present perfect is used for unfinished or unspecified time. End up. This means to finish up. It's a phrasal verb. Thank you for watching this video. Now make sure that you do the quiz to ensure that you remember the words and phrases that you have learnt whilst watching this video.